We have a famous actress with us today. Who wants to know more? Come on out. Heidi, will you tell
Hey,
everybody about your recent acting experience?
yes. Well, we're going to find out if I'm going to be famous or not tomorrow. So I'm recruiting for anyone who wants to find out what I'm talking about, seeing me on the big screen at WJCT Studios in Jacksonville tomorrow. But the voting has already started for the 48-hour film project. Last night was the first showing for Group A. Tonight's going to be Group B, and tomorrow night's going to be Group C. So I'll make sure to put a link in the comments. So if you guys are local, you want to come hang out, enjoy some local films, see all of the awesome talent that we have here in Jacksonville, then you'll be able to get your tickets and join us. And then we will know who the best of the best are going to be. And I'll be able to tell you a little bit more next week um, about that event and how you can get tickets for that. So,
I can't wait to hear more about it.
oh, and the best part about the whole experience is, I mean, it is going to be kind of cool to see myself on the big screen again, but the friendships and the experience that I had just from one weekend, everybody is so busy, they're working and doing all of their stuff with their families and things like that. So to get one weekend away where you get a group of creatives together to put together just this masterpiece. And now it's complete and it's done in 48 hours. That's a wrap and it's in a competition. The perfectionist Heidi would have been like, "You're kidding me. We are not doing this." But I tell you what, when you do something like this as a group, man, you could do anything.
Well,
And
that's the greatest part of working in a collaboration is somebody is going to know something you don't that you need to know. And I've got a story about that. I talked about the Military Influencers Conference a few weeks ago. What an amazing event. Perfect Publishing, Ken Rochon, who's going to be the publisher of our Believe anthology, took some of his authors, hello, me too, to the Military Influencer Conference to talk about publishing with the other veterans. And while we were there, I just immediately connected with this lady. She was bigger than life. Her energy sparkled. She was wearing a sunflower dress. She and I were just on the same wavelength, vibing. Well, of course, we met after the conference together on Zoom because she's up in Atlanta. And as we started talking, I found out what she does. She has created these kits that are child friendly where they build these little fascinator headpieces and then she puts on tea parties. I'm like, oh my God, this is right. This is perfect for Princess Francie, the children's book author. And we started talking some more. She made one for Princess Francie to wear and sent me pictures. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Then we just started talking some more. And which she is putting together kits that I could sell on my website so the kids could put together these little headpieces for themselves. And then something I've been trying to figure out how to do for a year. She made kits so the kids could make the tails. The
oh,
tails. Look at this. Can you see this? All these kids get tails when they go to Camp Confidence. As
yeah.
Princess Francie, I wear a tail. Now, every kid who wants a tail is going to have a kit to make their own tail. But wait, it gets better because now we are planning an event where we are going to come together and talk about Let Your Sparkle Shine for kids. The kids are going to talk about what makes them sparkle. And then we're going to have a party. They're going to either get to make their little fascinator hat or their tail. We're going to dance. We're going to decorate cookies. We're going to just have a lot of fun. And then book 3 is going to be all about this party where the kids celebrate how they let their sparkle shine. So we went from meeting at a conference to building a partnership to now I know what my third children's book is going to be about. But wait, it gets better. When all these kids are wearing their tails and dancing, they need their own song. Heidi, the musician, is helping me find somebody to write the Let Your Sparkle Shine and Wag Your Tail song.
And I think is that through networking, I met you the perfect person. So I'm going to find out more about that tomorrow. So isn't it
Yes.
funny? Like, I just want to point out how this plays into our theme for today. From the spark of the idea. So just, being at a conference where I don't know if you guys have been to conferences before, how fired up you get, but you went from that dry powder conference idea situation to continuing that conversation to now you've got a really cool collaboration going on where you get to be in your own creative space. I mean, I think it sounds awesome what your partner has been working on, but how do you have more impact with that? And the partnership that you have, I mean, whoa, and there's more.
And there's more, and by next week there will be more because it just keeps evolving. And the beauty of it is now when we come together, she has her center of influence and I have my center of influence. We come together and we have one big ball of center of influence. And now that's the beauty of our anthology, right, Heidi?
It totally is. I was thinking the other day about uh all of the publishing and all of the steps, and I went down the rabbit hole for a second, and then I closed the rabbit hole and went back over here and was like, I don't have to worry about any of that. It was very nice.
Because you
So
have
nice,
somebody
Francine.
who knows the process. You have somebody with the contacts that can help us through it. And you have somebody who has been there and done that.
And it serves more than one purpose because I love multitasking when it's not real multitasking, when
Right.
it's like I could get two things done at the same time. So the other thing that I'm feeling very reassured about as we go into this collaboration is having the feedback for even marketing and the language that you use when you're trying to talk to your audience. And sometimes I just get stuck in my own head and chasing my tail around in circles trying to figure out, like, is this something that they're going to understand? Does this sentence make sense? And I love running things by AI, but I mean, after using it for a while, there is nothing that replaces a human being and their feedback when it comes to my creative stuff,
Well,
because they're going to help me work through it in a way that, I mean, AI just feels so canned. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
expected that response. Thank you, but that's not what I need right now.
right. And not only that, but a human has feelings. AI doesn't. We want to know how we make people feel because that's what people remember. So think about it. We're writing our chapters about believing we could. I believed that there was something more for me to do in my life after I retired, that I wasn't supposed to just find a new way to do what I did my whole career, that I didn't have to just sit on my couch and collect my retirement checks, that there was something that I could do to make an impact in the world. Had no idea it was going to be children's books, but I just knew, I believed that I could find something that lit me up, something that I was passionate about, and some way to impact the world. So the me being excited and passionate and lit up is great, but sometimes when I let my passion overflow, it's all about my feelings. And I need the feedback letting me know that it's reaching the people who need to hear it. For instance, and this is what I'm trying to say now, I'm not a parent. And my passion, my sparkle, my everything is directed toward kids and parents. Well, how do I know if what I'm saying is really having that impact on them unless I get feedback from parents? And that's the great thing of having this huge collaboration with 52 authors is that somebody will have had the experience that you need to draw from to make sure that you are touching on the right emotions to make the impact that you want to make.
And I have run quite a few masterminds over the years, and I can speak to the fact that when you get a group of people together that are working kind of toward a similar goal, maybe not always the same goal, but you guys are all, everyone's growing. It's amazing how the trading of information ends up helping more than just the person that was looking for the answers at the time. And it just like the tide raises all boats becomes so true because whether or not you knew you needed, you probably didn't know you needed to hear what you heard today.
Yes.
And it came to you, and suddenly you were like, whoa, yeah, that's it. I was looking for it, but I didn't even know that was the right question to ask to get the answer that I needed. So, working together in these groups when it's toward a similar goal or problem will get you there so much faster. I wish I had some statistics, but I feel like it's about 5 times faster, is what I've read before when you're collaborating with people in a group.
Another example of this collaboration I'm having with my new friend. She asked me if I'm a nonprofit. And I said, no, I need to file for that still. Because we started talking about possible sponsors for this event we're going to do. And she said, well, I have a charitable organization in Georgia, but that won't help you. But I want to go to the next step and get the federal 501c3 to be a federal nonprofit, but I need a secretary for the foundation before I could file. So I asked, what does a secretary in that situation need to do? And she told me, I'm like, okay, I'm in, because she needs a secretary to move forward, and I need to learn how that works so I could do it myself. When you get in a group of people, you never know who will have the next piece of information that you need. I was getting ready to research all of this, and now I am joining a team of people who are doing what I wanted to research.
And I'm gonna throw my roommate under the bus right now. You can spend so much time just learning things, watching YouTube and all of that. And he goes to fix something around the house, 5 minutes of trying to fix it, and then that turns into like 3 days, 4 days, 5 days of watching YouTube videos and never actually. Suddenly I'm like, wait a minute, you're not even watching YouTube videos about what you're trying to fix anymore. You're off on some other tangent now. So, what you're doing makes so much more sense because if you can get experience while you're learning, it's going to lock in so much faster than just sitting and passively learning things. Yes, it's good to sit and learn things and watch videos and read, but when you're doing it for far too long and you never get into action, and I feel like it becomes really easy when you have a really busy schedule. You might be watching these videos in preparation, you're going to put this into practice, but really until you put it on your schedule, you're not going to put it into action and be doing the things. And sometimes it requires that you build a habit. And sometimes if you're the only one watching over your performance of the habit, it can very easily fall to the wayside again when life gets all kinds of crazy and throws things at you. So
Right?
having a group of people that you can kind of fall back on when it is going to get tough when you're working on these long-term projects. So having someone, I can't even tell you guys, this live stream every Tuesday is is my weekly retreat because this is where we slow down and we really talk about the things that we're too busy to bother with right now. I'm going to put this to the side, and it hurts our creativity. So one way that you can set yourself up for success is find other like-minded people to collaborate with and jump right in. Don't worry if you don't know how. It's okay if you don't know how to get to your destination. That's the cool part about creative people. We're going to figure it out.
That is a fact. Don't wait until it's perfect. I started my podcast. I interviewed one person and I recorded it on my phone and I put it up on YouTube. I didn't even know what a thumbnail was. It was horrible. The interview was great, but the title was bad, the description was bad, the thumbnail was bad, but I did it. And then in the next video, it was still kind of bad, but I learned some more and I got the experience. I got the confidence. And then finally, about 5 episodes into my podcast, I made the thumbnail better. It still wasn't good, but better. And that's what you do. You have to start somewhere. Do you know, as a writing coach, how many times I hear, yeah, I'm writing. It's not much. It's a page or two a week. Well, that's a start. Don't discount that. A page or two a week will make a book eventually. Then I talk to the person. I have a manuscript, but it's not any good. Well, how do you know? Have you let anyone read it? No, I'm too afraid to let somebody read it. But I thought you said you want to be an author. How are you going to be an author if you don't let anyone read what you write?
That sounds like the question my mom asked me when I was like 6. She's like, "How are you gonna be a shy singer?" Because she would ask me to sing songs for my grandma, and then I wouldn't do it. I would just go like run and hide. So she had a very good point that stuck with me for a long time. I had to outgrow that somehow. And, this might be outside of your comfort zone. And if it is, then that's great. That means that you're growing to new heights and you're having new impact in your life. And this means that you can have greater impact on people around you. And so taking those steps, even if they're just teeny tiny steps, like sticking a toe outside of the comfort zone just to see like what the temperature might be over there, great. A lot of people don't even come anywhere close to the line.
And eventually you see, oh, the water's not that cold. And then you stick the whole leg in. Oh, that's not bad. And eventually you're diving in. But the best part about it is when you're in a collaboration, you're supported by others. We were I was doing a speech class this afternoon. We were talking about learning to swim. And well, I learned to swim by my dad throwing me in Lake Michigan. Of course, he was a lifeguard, so he knew what to do if I didn't swim. Well, my buddy said that I almost drowned a couple times, but with the support of somebody teaching me how to swim, I eventually learned. Well, that's what the collaboration is. That's the support of someone holding you up in the water, teaching you how to kick your feet and keep your head above water instead of throwing you in the deep end like my dad did. And well, it wasn't even the deep end of a swimming pool. He threw me into Lake Michigan.
I'm really impressed with that because I grew up in Wisconsin and I didn't really learn how to swim until I moved here to Florida. That was like my very interesting point about myself as an adult was I don't know how to swim. But I do now. It's very nice in Florida for swimming. But Lake Michigan, I think I would have just turned into an ice cube and sunk.
Well, it was in July. It was in July.
There's still ice cubes in that lake in July. Are you kidding me?
And that's why I live in Florida now.
Yes, yes.
And there's something else I want to, since we're talking about, you're from Wisconsin, I'm from Chicago. We're we have another author joining us in France and possibly one in Australia. So if you're watching this anywhere in the world, know that your geographic location doesn't stop you from joining the collaboration.
And I mean, that makes it even more awesome because if you think this is a big project, once we start this rolling out, you're going to realize how many opportunities that there are for us to do some really cool collaborations, which means all of you that want to travel places.
How would you like to go visit Cecilia in France and do a book launch there? Just asking,
Right? I mean, I haven't been to France.
right?
So just putting that out there, this is a great way for us to learn more about places that we have never experienced before. And that also means different perspectives that we haven't experienced before. And when you get to work as a group on a project, you get to know those people a whole lot better than just when you attend a networking meeting on a regular basis or something like that. You have far more time to build those relationships with people. And I think that is really the biggest success that you're going to achieve from these kind of collaborations.
Yes. And because we already have authors in other countries, we're going to be an international bestseller right off the bat.
Crazy how that works. I don't
Right.
think people realize how that works sometimes. How you just do a little marketing planning and things like that, and suddenly you're a best-selling author. It's not always how great the story is, but sometimes it's how well it's presented.
The good story does make a difference. So that's why we're going to have an editor. We have a publisher. We're going to give each other feedback. That's three ways we're going to make sure that your story shines and that it brings out the best in you to allow you to make your sparkling big impact in the world. Because when you let your spark, I'm sorry, I can't stop saying, let your sparkle shine, everybody. And this anthology is one way to let your sparkle shine so more people will know, like, and trust you. No matter what you do, if you're a plumber, if you're a real estate agent, if you are an insurance salesman, people buy from you, not the company where you work. Get people to know, like, and trust you by talking about your story. If you're a real estate agent, I believed I could sell that $1 million house, and I did. Now you could inspire the next generation of real estate agents, or you might inspire somebody who needs that mindset shift that you had that allowed you to sell that $1 million house.
There's so much to this, Francine, and unfortunately, we're out of time.
Oh, we're out of time.
But that's why we've got an online community. Oh, I'm not on that side of the screen. So there's a QR code in Francine's corner of the screen that you can scan and get into our community.
I'm
And
also
what's great
putting it
about
in
it
the
is,
I'm also
oh,
putting it in
and
the chat.
And this is a great way to get started with writing because every day there's a little writing prompt and you can just answer as a comment, or you can take it a little further and take that journaling prompt to your journal and write a little bit longer on some of those questions that are in there. And it will get some answers. So I also put in the chat if you guys want to check me out in my second film, if you're in Jacksonville. Prick and Lick, that's the one you want to vote for. And then next week, we are meeting with one of our new collaborators, Jeremiah Ott. So we are excited to introduce him to you. And now, Francine, we've come to the close.
We have
So if you can conceive it, you can believe it, and you can achieve it. So,
from the head to the heart to the
to
hands.
the hands.
Yes,
Yes, you
you
can.
can. Yeah. And if you don't think you can, talk to me. I'll make sure you know you can.